Good morning, everyone. Welcome back. Today we have a super exciting story from the Bible about how people spread all over the world and why we speak so many different languages. Are you ready? Let's dive in. After the big flood, Noah's family started to grow and grow. Imagine one family becoming so big that they filled up entire towns. The Bible tells us that Noah's sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth had lots of children, and their children had children, and soon there were many, many nations. These families moved to different lands. Some lived by the mountains, some by the sea. They developed different cultures, wore different kinds of clothes, and even looked a little different from one another. But here's the most important part. They were all part of God's big family. God's plan was for people to fill the whole earth, to explore and live everywhere. And the first big truth we learn today is that God loves people from every single nation, every language, and every place. He loves everyone, no matter what. But then, something strange happened. At first, everyone lived in one place and spoke the very same language. It was easy to talk to each other. One day, some people had an idea. They said, let's build a huge city with a tower that reaches all the way to the sky. We'll become famous, and we can all stay right here together. This might sound like a cool idea, but they were forgetting something important. They were forgetting God's plan. God wanted them to spread out and fill the earth, but they wanted to stay in one spot and make a name for themselves. They were focused on their own glory, not God's. God saw what they were doing. He knew their hearts and saw that they weren't obeying Him. So, God did something truly surprising. He came down and gently confused their languages. Suddenly a person would try to say, "Pass me a brick," but it would come out sounding like gobbledygook banana. No one could understand each other anymore. Imagine trying to build a giant Lego tower when everyone is speaking a different silly language. It would be impossible. Because they couldn't communicate, they stopped building the tower. Frustrated groups of people who could understand each other moved away together. They went north, south, east, and west, spreading all over the world, just like God had wanted from the very beginning. The city was named Babel, which means confused. This brings us to our second big truth. God's plans are always the best, and they can't be stopped. When we try to do things our own way instead of listening to God, things can get messy and confusing. But even when people disobeyed, God used it to fulfill His amazing plan to fill the beautiful world He made. So, what do we learn from these two stories? We learn that God loves all people everywhere. We learn that it's important to obey Him and trust His plans. And we learn that even when things seem confusing, God is in control. Thanks for listening to this incredible story today. Remember, you are part of God's amazing global family. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. See you next time.